treat this morning. Some of you probably know Ben. He's talked about his other business, but today he's going to talk about the fun side of the business. And he's going to talk about Pennington Station. If you haven't been there, you need to. It's just kind of walk right across the parking lot, and there he is. But Ben, take it away.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna move the large metal podium so I can do my pacing thing. Okay, but I'll try to stay in the camera view.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
So let's see if I make sure the clicker's working. There we go. All right, Pennington Station. So a little bit about us, just to kind of keep everybody filled in, get everybody filled in here. My wife and I built the Pennington Station together. We really conceptualized and visualized it and dreamed about the type of thing that we wanted to build. And we knew that we wanted to do something that played on our strengths. And so, you know, we have our whole family involved. Of course, we're involved in our community. We're involved in our church heavily. And, you know, we've got Max has got his own little business there, and we were excited to be growing him as an entrepreneur. And if, I like how Whitney put on the PowerPoint that Quincy's the real boss. She's real bossy, for sure. So we worked together to build first our Full Studios, which I've already done a presentation on, but is a software development company that primarily focuses on bleeding edge stuff. So we build games, augmented reality, virtual reality, and anything that is new, exciting, bleeding edge. We're really good at technology, so that's where we kind of keep our focus and our track. And so we wanted to extend our best feature, which was technology, to the community. There's multiple reasons why, but the biggest is we wanted a connection. We wanted to build something that we wish our kids had, and so now they do have it. But we wish we had too, right? So, you know, I was that kid that would go to like Hastings and read all the comic books in the back because we couldn't afford to buy them, or go to, you know, Toys R Us and sit at a video game in an aisle while mom shopped for as long as I could. And so those were my experiences with technology growing up. Now kids have access to way more, and kids in this area have access to way more because we're helping with that. So it started out with finding the right building, and we came up with the idea. We started with Illumination VR was our first concept. We knew we wanted to be in the virtual reality space because we just made our first VR game. Got it published on Steam, got recognized by Oculus, PlayStation, invited to their developer communities. And so we're like, okay, we have all these dev kits. We're part of this community, we can build stuff. Let's do VR. VR is like a movie, but you're inside of it. It's the most expressive medium, let's do it. So we finally found a building and were able to do an SBA loan and get it all going, and that just paid for the build out. It's Pennington Drug Company right here on Virginia Street. So we knew we wanted to be downtown. We were only shopping downtown because we believe in the culture of downtown. We've grown our business. We literally had some like window shades found us to build their API and Alexa skill, and you know how they found us? We were busy hacking on a third Thursday, and you walk by on Main Street and said, nerds, those guys, they can help us, and we did. And so we believe very strongly that if you are in front of people doing what you're good at, that it will bring the right people around, and we rely on God to bring us the right people. So build it and they'll come, right? So we started with the Pennington Drug Company building, which was pretty much a warehouse that hasn't been used since the 70s. And you can see Max there in some of the build out. We built an area for our development studio and kind of our workshop, and the rest of it was for family entertainment, kind of we'll go into what it is, but more of a digital playground. So this is what the frontage looks like. Thanks for the Needle Group. The Needle Group has been our biggest backer. Well, he kind of like bought the building out from underneath me, but I forgive him because I didn't have the money to do it anyways. He literally bought the building and came and said, so you still want to do that thing, right? It's like, yes, you got me. How much? That's how it works with him. And so they're awesome. They've restored this building. They put all the original windows and stuff back in, gave us amazing, beautiful digital, or not digital, but frontage, and got us all set up. We paid for all the interior build out so we could do it exactly like what we wanted. And this is what we built for the community to come and play with. So We have virtual reality, flight simulators, full motion driving rigs. These are all things that every guy wishes he could have in his man cave. I had somebody tell me, so you basically built your dream man cave and now you don't get to play with it because you code all day? Yeah, that's what happened. But everybody else does, and that's the important part. So, you know, we have the latest, greatest consoles. We literally have families come in that can't afford to buy, you know, the latest scalping prices on the latest PlayStation, but they come up, just sit with their kids and play. It's a bonding thing, and we do birthday parties and business stuff. We do all kinds of team building, and we've had so many surprises in this. Because we provide a unique experience for each party, we do all the cool nerd things that we can. We 3D print a customized birthday cake topper with your name on it that you get to take home. We use our big format printer to print out a custom table topper with your name on it that you get to roll up and all the kids sign and you take home, or your business, you know. And so we use those tools that we have. We know nerd stuff, so that's what we do. And we use that to make it an experience that they'll never forget. We also have been really excited to have the space be something that can be used for different events. You know, cons like JomoCon, and we're gonna do that again coming up soon. All kinds of business meetings and team building exercises. If you haven't ever seen how your boss reacts to a zombie, hey, have them plan a trip. Come on down. Let's see if you guys can work together, or you get abandoned. It's either good or bad. So you figure out, you learn a lot. So, and school events. This one is really near and dear to our heart. I see we've got some of our STEAM proponents here that are building some cool stuff. We can't be everything, and so we have to, a rising tide lifts all ships. So we are very invested in the education and the learning part of this stuff. But I've also been happily surprised at all of the different groups that we never thought of. We knew that we would be very inclusive for handicapped people, because anybody can wheel up or come in on whatever handicap they have. They can experience this in their own way. But what I didn't realize is we've had groups book out that bring people that have social anxiety disorders and all kinds of people on different parts of the spectrum that have to get the place all to themselves, but then you know, turn around the ranch. We're like, yes, bring them all. No cost, just bring them all. Just, you know, let them have the time of their lives. So we're able to provide those stuff, and we didn't even realize what an impact that would have, or how many people can't go to paintball or bounce houses or other things. So there's an underserved, we've had a huge response to that we didn't even anticipate, but because we can pivot, because we can change up, because we can make things more accessible on a whim, we've been able to keep this really a cool space for people of all ages and all, you know, different abilities. So this is some shots of like the flight rig, kids playing and having fun, adults. We had a family just recently that they dared their grandma to do the jump off the roof or go up the elevator, step onto the plank thing. And I always tell my employees, like, haha, funny, but I don't want to be on YouTube. But they got her to do it. It was fine, but we may have coddled that situation a little bit. But Grandma was brave, and when she found out that we were going to coddle her, she's, oh, I'm doing it. No, I will not be coddled. So, you go, Grandma. And so, people are getting here, and all these stations are hooked up on the network. So if one person's on the Xbox and Minecraft, and one person's on the VR Minecraft, and somebody else is on the computer, and other people in these stations, they're all networking together. So you can have 4 or 5 people in the same game experiencing that multiplayer cooperation or not cooperation. Famously, Max sometimes will see birthday party going on and he's not invited, but they get in Minecraft, so he gets up on his computer, his desk upstairs, logs in, gets administrator privileges, starts trolling, builds an invisible wall around them, and then we have to have that talk. So, but anyways, he has his fun. And I love that he has a space that he can feel comfortable with, bringing his friends and inviting his whole soccer team and whatnot. So it's what I would want to take people to, and so we use that as our guide when building, hey, what new technology are we gonna do? This is our guide. So this is a bigger view of the space. As you can see, it's a pretty large area. You got a little Minecraft tree going on over here. There's more space than you can see here, but we love having the huge groups. We have schools, youth groups, businesses, and huge birthday parties. We can handle from 30 to 60 people. And you know, our staff is amazing. They're the lifeblood of this, and they make it work. And here's some more shots of, hey, a chamber meeting. You know, and you know, a birthday party. You can see the custom stuff there. And so parents are encouraged to come and make it their own, but we try to make it special. And we host other things. We do some esports, LAN parties. Like I said, we're nerds. We do nerd stuff. And so with our LAN parties, we usually have about 120 people at. We have a couple junior dev teams that we sponsor to help them get their game on Steam. And so we give them a space to come and hack, either here or at our Main Street venue. And yeah, there we are. This is our recent 1 year grand okay, so if this tells you a little bit about us, our grand opening was 1 year later because we were not good. This is our first brick and mortar business. We were not good at the join the chamber and go to the events and get involved in the community. But this is our road in. So, you know, when you are, I'm okay at public speaking, but I'm still antisocial. Does that make sense? Like, I love that I can share this stuff with you, but like, I'm more comfortable hacking on my computer than going to an event, right? So this is our connection to you guys. This is our outlet. And so that's both been the best thing about the Pennington Station and the worst. So we'll get into that. But we are very proud to be more involved in the community, part of the chamber, part of, you know, we'll talk about later, but builders and backers, part of Million Cups. You guys are the community that we want to connect with. So current state of the union. After a year, we are nearly at a break even. In other words, it's not paying for itself, but it's getting closer and closer. And by break even, you know, like sometimes when you start a restaurant or a business up, you know, okay, I've got a year or two before this really gets in the black, you know, really is taking care of itself. Even despite COVID and despite, if you know technology at all, we picked the absolute worst time to buy computer parts a year ago because scalping and Bitcoin and other prices, hardware was ridiculous. So a lot of we would have twice as much stuff and growing twice as fast, but because of this natural slow growth that the situation of just the state of the last couple of years, it has given us time to be very introspective and grow in a measured way. And because of our studio that supports this, basically we're our own investor. So we've been able to grow slowly and thoughtfully, which has helped us, you know, not narrow our vision too much. But perhaps we've been a bit too broad, but we've tried to fund ourselves, and that's worked really well so far. But I'm really, and my wife especially, will be really excited when it's covering all of its own bills. That's a huge milestone for us. We have excellent staff and management team, and that is not an accident. Most of the people that work there came into play. And 3 of them I have hired and now work as developers, designers, or artists in some form or factor for the studio. So I had selfish business owners in building this. I can build this awesome thing, but I'm also gonna get engineers and their kids and geeks and nerds and people that know tech. And if they click with what we're doing, if they're like-minded, then we've got an opportunity that goes with our broader vision of supporting this area, both economically and viability, and other big words of, you know, bringing this up. I don't expect us to be the new Silicon Valley, but I think we have something special here, and we should attract technology and people that are good at it and keep them and give them an awesome place to live and work. So we're doing our part. That's what we're doing. Thank you. And we have momentum. So now that we've figured out, oh, hey, if you join the Chamber of Commerce, there'll be a ribbon cutting, and people will come see what you're doing. Like, oh, we should have done that a year ago. So now that we're understanding more of how to interact from a business perspective, we have momentum where people are understanding our vision. We've been consistent with our messaging, and that's one thing that we've done well. But it's also one of the things we'll talk about that has inhibited our growth because we've been very, I'll get into it more, but we've been hesitant to nail down exactly what we are because we're trying to get a more broad vision across. But I think we're finally at that place where we can move on to other things that do that. So very excited. And that's kind of what this is about. You're supposed to build, you know, Million Cups, you're supposed to bring, here's who we are, but this is what we need. I'm getting to that. One other thing I gotta mention though is 3 of our, my wife and Katie is one team with one of their startups. Jake is here somewhere. This startups, and raise your hand if you are one of the entrepreneurs that's in the startup program. and you're in this room.
The builders
Builders and backers, yeah. That is awesome. I haven't met. You need to talk. So, we are here, like Full Board Studios above this Pennington, and Pennington by proxy are here for you to be like, hey, what technology things can we help you lift up in? Or at least to be an inspiration. So I'm very excited that two of our employees and somebody, Jake, who we're closely associated with, were accepted to that program, and they know that we have their back. So they're not gonna hit a brick wall with their startup that we can't help them get over, because we've already been down that road. Because that's part of what we do, is we're a startup for startups. It's part of our software stuff. So we have momentum. We are doing the thing that we wanted to create this to help us do. I'm very happy about that. So our goals, like with most businesses, it'd be awesome if we could make more or much more than we spend. Because that would give us, honestly, I'm on a hiatus on buying new cool stuff until we make more money. So, you know, I will still find a way to do that, but I'd love for the Pennington to pay for the stuff instead of Full Board, because that means we can grow and we can repeat that process and do other things. So even though this has been really a more soulful like creation that we've done that is supposed to embody everything that we want to be, it's got to be a business too, right? And we're doing everybody a disservice if we don't do a good job at that part, because how dare we say, hey, let's help you with your startup, but we don't know how to run a business. But this is our first brick and mortar, and I'm very excited with where we're at, but that's where I want to be. I want to be fluid, not just in the black, but I want to be able to make moves using its budget. We need to market ourselves more creative and effectively. We've done no traditional marketing. We've done no TV ads, radio ads. Part of that is because of the dynamic nature of being sponsored by Full Board. We felt like the good and bad of that is, the good is Full Board makes enough money to pay for it. The bad is I have to spend all my time making money. So there's not really been an advertising budget. So we're getting so close to being able to fund our own advertising budget, do more traditional advertising, and create better brand awareness. We need to broaden our relationship with other entertainment venues. I don't believe that we should be pulling, but we should be pushing other people. 9 times out of 10, somebody comes in that's never been to Joplin before, and they come visit us. We have people come from Kansas City, from Branson, from Tulsa, or people traveling across the country that see us on Google Maps and are like, I've got to go there. And they're like, what else does you do cool in Joplin? And my employer's like, Access, there's axe throwing. What else? You know, but we need more of that. We need more escapers. We need more axe throwing. We need more creative venues to bolster the livability of Joplin, that people can go do stuff. So if we can help push that, we can and should. So that's a big part of what we want to do, is push that forward. And that comes back to the STEAM stuff, comes back to education. If we need to do a better job of supporting the people around us. We need to broaden our relationships. We need to increase the rate. We're able to refresh and extend our offerings. That comes back to money. I can do more cool stuff if we're more fluid with this, and we should do that with the money that it's making. We need to do more external events. I know that we're really good. We have a great staff. We can go pop up. Whitney, what's the school thing that we're doing coming up?
The Health and Wellness Fair.
This is our second year doing the Health and Wellness Fair for schools, which is amazing because we need schools to know that we exist. And I just imagine a teacher coming in like Mrs. Frizzle from Magic School Bus, being like, all right, kids, here we go, Carlos. Anyways, so we want to mark that part, that just rolls right into work closer with schools. You guys have already read this. This is really redundant, I apologize. Explore creative partnerships. So we also need to do a better job, and we are, of finding people that are in the same either entertainment or technology things, and do a better job of working with them. We've been very internal focused, and we need to do a better job of inviting other people to be part of our process. And use our platform and space to better share our extended vision, which actually, so we have a new vision. This was our initial thing to get into the community and get established, and for people to be like, where are the nerds at? That's them, there they are. Those are the geeks, those are the nerds, those are the hackers. They're the guys, right? They're the guys and gals that are moving and shaking. We needed to establish that so we can do the next thing. And I guess actually this last goal is gonna kind of drop off based on what we're gonna talk about. So, steps in progress. We're working with Storm Marketing who are awesome and brilliant, to do a Pennington only marketing strategy. But he's expensive, so we also need to make more money so we can do that. We're sponsoring and hosting JomoCon. For people who don't know, it's a Comic-Con style all things included of nerd and fandom. And we sponsored them last year. They were online only. This year, we're their main sponsor. And once again, they're multi-venue, have speakers coming in, or meeting in real life. We're all antisocial. It should be awesome.
Ben, isn't that coming up soon?
It is coming up very soon. Does anybody have the date on that? 30th. Okay. July 3rd. And I'm gonna blast through the rest of this. And then the big bombshell, I know other people know this is happening too, but I just like to put it out there. My wife's like, well, you gotta put all your cards on the table. I'm like, why not? We're going for it anyways. We're trying to buy the Joplin Library. That is our broader,
Joplin Library.
the old Joplin Library, sorry, yes. The one on Main Street. I call it that. Not your library, other one. So, yeah, well, okay, so from my perspective, my very first learning to program JavaScript and HTML was grabbing a book from the library, taking it home, learning it, writing down what I wanted to do, and come back to those. My first access to the internet, growing up, was that library. So it holds a special place for me downtown, and we believe we have a vision to be like, okay, I won't get into that, but the vision that we want to produce works hand in hand with all the things that are coming in the future that we're excited about with STEAM and with entertainment and with building a place for both Joplinites to enjoy, but to really pull people in from other places. And we think we're uniquely able to do that. And you might say to yourself, a very valid question, but Ben, don't you have too much to do already? I do, but this would be something that would require multiple investors, multiple people to be involved, and we'd be able to put our full attention on. We'd be able to make ourselves our client for the first time. But when we make a video game, I'm like, okay, we can spend 2 days on this, but then the rest of the week's on the clients, right? So video games take years to make anyways, but if we make ourselves our client, we can do some stuff. And so we're excited to share that vision, which is also one of the reasons why on these Steps in Progress, we're sponsoring the Joplin Tech Summit. That is not just because we love to, yeah, we're those guys. We want to be guys and gals. We are the people that we want to say, like, yes, technology, this is the future. One of my best examples of this is if you go to the Amazing, speaking of Walmart, gobs of money in Northwest Arkansas, if you go to Walmart, Amazing hasn't changed in 4 or 5 years, but their concept is still there. There's trucking stuff. You can go pretend to be a Walmart employee, and it's fun to play make-believe, but I would much rather build something where kids can come in and build a construction, an Elon Musk style, construction line, because that's the future. We're not going to be manning the, stocking the shelves. We're going to be building and fixing the robots that do. Make sense? So there's just this shift that needs to happen in how we teach, educate, and deal with these things, and we can wrap that in entertainment. So the Joplin Tech Summit is our biggest expenditure of the whole year. We could have done a heck of a marketing budget, but I am considering that our marketing. I'm considering saying putting our money where their mouth is. Well, putting full horse money where Pennington's mouth is. Okay, so I turned this off. There we go. So yes, back to Steps in Progress. So strengths and weaknesses. We recognize that once people try us, they love us. That is, I'm not boasting. If people genuinely, if they come and they experience what the Pennington Station has to offer, we get nothing but rave reviews, and people love it and they want more of it. And we're able to, because of full board, paying for everything and us not having to make a profit, we're able to pivot and experiment, but that's also the downside because we need to get to the make a profit part, right? Although we're very close. I'm so proud that we're that close. Our weaknesses are brand recognition and traditional marketing. We know that we're bad at this, that people should associate the Pennington Station brand with all these things, and we need to do a better job of broadly marketing that. We know a little bit how to do that, but we're going to get help doing that because that's not our forte, and we don't need to spin our wheels in that. So thank you, Dustin, it's for marketing, okay? Not letting go of the reins. This is me. I was brought a Pennington Station shirt, okay, to wear. I chose not to change into it because it's a perfect example of my stubbornness of being who I'm going to be despite the marketability, okay? So everybody else here, Whitney, Katie, Jake, they're all repping the brand, right? I'm not, and I'm that problem, not letting go of the reins. I've been so focused on creating a narrative and a vision to help people understand who we are, because the bank that gave us the SBA loan has still never come and played our games. You know what we are. Our business license is the same one you get for vending machines. There's not an option for cool new tech stuff, okay? So I feel like we have to do, we have spent so much time getting our heart and our message out there, but I've gotta let go now. I've gotta let it be a business, let Katie and the rest of her team take it, put things on the walls, brand it, you know, really do the marketing and let it be a real business that just exists to continue and further its mission of bringing cool stuff into Joplin. And so I'm hoping I can do that. I'm hoping I can be better at doing that, but this is what I need help with is these processes and things. I don't even know where to start. So I let go and I have smart people to run this. I guess I need therapy. I don't know. I'm scared to just say, okay, so it is what it is now. So, and the last thing here is settling into a more narrow but focused operation, which is what I'm talking about. We need to settle into, okay, Pennington Station is this vertical slice of what we do, and that's all it is. And that's just hard for me to do because I feel like I'll lose something, you know, so I'm being very, very open. I feel like because we've been very open-ended, we've been able to like, oh, let's add this technology, or kids that come in that play Minecraft, we need to have the coolest Minecraft thing, and we can just pivot and build that. I think our team understands the mission now. I think they know how to take this and run with it. I just need to let them do it. So that's where we're at with this. In order to move on to the next thing, we've got to let the Pennington Station just be the Pennington Station. Okay, that's it. I really want to get, I'm done talking. I want to get to you guys' questions and hopefully answer them. So.
All right, who's got questions? Okay.
I don't need a microphone, I can talk really loud.
We're recording, so.
Oh, you're recording. I'll try to talk quieter then.
So this is the first I've ever heard of this.
That's my bad.
I think that it's really awesome.
Thank you.
But my main question is it something that you have to schedule to come and participate at, or is it like a walk-in business, or how does that work? Is it if it is walk-in?
Yeah,
how
so
much
if
does
we
it
were doing
cost?
our job on
Or
branding
is
and
that-
messaging, we would have things like if there was anybody that I was gonna hire to build a cool online scheduling system, it would be me. Have I built a cool online scheduling system? No, because the mechanics, car is always in the worst shape, right? Which is one of the reasons we're letting go and letting the budget do that. So to answer your question, you can come in anytime, but it's great to check with us to make sure there's not a birthday party or something. I hate when people come by and there's an event that's already going on and they have to come back or they don't come back. And so that is one of those things where you can schedule a birthday party, you can schedule an event there, but usually, I think we're open summers opening a little bit later in the afternoon. I don't even know when we open and close. But we are open late on the weekends and we're just kind of an evening, afternoon operation. So yeah, you can just come by, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night and we'll be there and you can pop in and have fun. So yeah, great question.
Awesome presentation.
Thanks.
One of the questions that I have is, one of the things that you wanted to work on is doing more external events. And you've done our second Tuesday in CJ, and thankfully we moved it so you have the inside of our chamber to be able to set everything up. But one of the questions I have is there a way, because a lot of external events are either they have power but they're gonna be outside, or that you may have clientele. I know you wanna bring everybody but there, but maybe they're not, maybe they are traveling really far for them,
Right.
or they don't have the ability to come in and do something. Is there a way to pivot your business also to have the option where you could go on site?
Absolutely. In fact, oh yeah. keep
No,
going.
that's
Yeah,
all, they just went on
absolutely.
site, or thinking long-term, a lot of these outside events, that if a place or a school even is able to supply power, I'm assuming, yes, it's probably hard to do something outside, unless it's
Yeah.
completely covered.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the computers don't like the heat so much. But to that point, we're good at, we have, we do 3D printing, laser cutting, water jetting, fabrication. If we really put our mind to it, we could build something really cool. We could build a mobile truck or trailer and a system to do that. And it's something that we workshopped and talked about. But that's definitely, we are going to need some help because we're getting just outside of our, so I would just put this out there, we're looking to build something like that, so if somebody can help us get with the right people to build the right kind of thing, we just need help with the finding the thing that we need to fabricate, basically. But yes, that is something we should and are capable of doing, we should do. Great suggestion.
So I'm from Neosho, of course, and so this concept that you have is very appealing, because that's what I think our downtown needs, is we're getting lots of restaurants, our downtown is in a lot of renovation, but the things we need are activities for people to do to keep them down there, to attract people to come down there, so they'll eat and they'll go to the ice cream shop and they'll enjoy the parks downtown. And so in your vision of what the future is, that concept of there being more Pennington stations, or that concept in other downtowns?
Yeah, I didn't know if I hinted at that enough, but
Okay.
you might have heard where I mentioned, being able to be reproducible.
Yes.
So that's exactly what I'm getting at. I think that if we have this model, that it benefits multiple cities around us, and it uplifts that community, because really what you're doing is you're injecting creativity and technology and giving the youth something to do, which is awesome. Like and so if we can do a better job of locking down our formula and saying, okay, this is which, we lock down our vertical slides, which I hate to do, but there's ways to still expand and do stuff. But if you have, this is the offering right now, and then you can take that and repeat it, I think we should. And
Well,
we
I
want to.
have 3 empty buildings right
Good to know.
Yes.
I might be here, Mrs. Frizzle. I just retired last year from the STEAM building in Nixa, John Thomas School of Discovery. And have you thought about partnering with local STEAM schools? Like, I know Neosho's getting a new STEAM school, and I do know that they will pay, for technology people to come in and, assist with some of the, maybe even seminars, things like that you can provide maybe?
I think so, yeah, that's a good question. So I think if we are able to, and hopefully I'm not, once again, the blocker on this, hopefully if we can get our model down to that vertical slice that works really well, it's very easy to do a better job of marketing and say, here's a flyer, this is exactly what we are, or here's the marketing to do that, so the schools know they can do that. I would say that it is something that we're not familiar enough without. The closest thing I do is early in my career of software, I worked for a company called School Messenger. I started as support, they're here locally. I started support, and I very quickly went into telephony and doing like coding stuff for them. I was only there for a short while, but what I learned is like there's a way things work and move in schools, and if you get somebody to understand the inside of how that operates, you can really present yourself well, and I feel like we have something great to offer.
I have a connection for you. I'll
Okay.
let you know after we get done.
All right, well, that's what this is all about, so
Yeah.
thank you.
Yay.
Awesome.
Kavanaugh has a question.
I have a quick comment. Have you talked to Kelly about the CAPS program that's gonna be happening? The only reason why I say is because the long-term focus and broader for the CAPS program for the high schools around here is that there be a tech strand. And one of your big visions that you're talking about is letting people know that this is the area to, we have it here,
Yeah.
and so that might be, and I have her contact information, that might be a good opportunity, long-term goal-wise, because the point of the program is to give them partners and being able to, and not even like monetarily being to have to sponsor something with them, but having the students in our high schools come in and know that this is what we're doing here, we're innovative, the tech is here, you can stay here, graduate college or get the training and stay here and work here and live here. And you don't have to go to our big city, you don't have to even Kansas City, St. Louis area, and that just seems like it's a big focus and vision of yours, and sort of projecting that, so.
Yeah, and this has been the biggest bandwidth problem that we have is there's all kinds of stuff we should be getting hooked up with, but because of the you know, the cart before the horse of not getting out there enough. So that's what this is part of. So now hopefully you can help us get with her and get more information on that. But like, we're very easy to work with as long as we know what's there, but we've been really inward focused, right? So now we've got to look out and say, okay, now where's our connection opportunity? So I did identify that as a goal, obviously, that we want to do. But the practical application of that is, we're gonna need some help. Because, you know, it's a lot to track, so.
Hey, Ben, thank you, great presentation, and, Ben and his companies are the title sponsor for the Joplin Regional Innovation and Technology Summit. That's a huge investment, but it'll be great for your company, even on a global scale. But as a follow-up to what Kavanaugh was just saying, I know that you are on a pathway to develop the digital workforce of code writers and so forth, and talking about those avenues to get plugged into. Recently, eFactory in Springfield, which is a much larger version of what we're doing at the Chamber with the Joplin Regional, or the Joseph Newman Innovation Center. They have teamed up with Codify to bring a program to the high schools for code writing. So I would be more than happy to get an introduction to Rachel Anderson at the eFactory.
Yeah.
And the two of you get together and talk, because that is a perfect glove fit for
Yeah.
you to plug into.
And I didn't know about that, but I knew eFactory, just so you know, is one of our people for the library thing that we're talking about. One of that, and if you wanna look this up on your own, Area 15 in Vegas and the Mega Mart and the Meow Wolf, concept of mixing entertainment with high art. So, but they're one of our things I'd really be interested in, because I'll be honest with you, there's gonna be a lot of people that want to bid on that building and get it. We need to show that not only can we make money with it, but we're gonna bring this stuff to there. And that is just right in line with our vision. And honestly, to support the ecosystem of building and growing these things, we've gotta attract and keep coders here, and we've gotta pay them well, and we've gotta show them they can build a family here. So that is part of it, that's part of, and the training and learning, people just need to realize that at any age, you can just jump right into that and start doing that. So yeah.
Great.
Great job. I was gonna mention that, so I'm glad he did. So I have two other things for you. One, I'd like to talk to you guys later about the building. And two, also about the mobile unit. So, I have a lot of ideas for that. Because it's been a little dream of mine in the back. So, in the back of my brain, I've been looking for someone. So, anyway, I wanna talk to you about both of those things, but I have ideas.
Okay, awesome. Good.
Okay, so our last question is as a community, what can we do for you?
I think continuation of what you're doing here. So we need more eyes and ears on what's going on. I've had several people come to me that have had to reach outside the area to get things done, and several people that have been like, they're like, oh, well, my kid was interested in coding and now he's in Denver, or he's in, that if they just would have known that we existed. So we need more eyes and ears in the community of putting these pieces together. Because I feel like we lose people that don't understand that they can do this here, but we're a good example of we're doing it. We're making video games in Joplin, Missouri, and we're making money with it. We're writing software, we're making money with it. We're building entrepreneurial investments in entertainment. So we need you guys to help us connect with people, because that's not what we're good at. We're good at typing on keyboards and stuff. So Whitney has something to say.
And tell people that an entertainment option in the Joplin area is the Pennington Station.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And so we need to be good about it. For some reason, she wants us to make money. You know, it takes a balance. Somebody to spend it and somebody to be like, stop. So, but in all seriousness, I just took my family to Vegas for a 2 or 3 day trip, and we went to Area 15 and the Meow Wolf's whole, I wanted her to understand what I was talking about when I saw that multi-tenant thing. And I can't get into the whole Joplin pitch, but hey, if I'm spending the money and saying, hey, we're gonna be tech summit or doing this, I'm gonna put it out there. Like, we're gonna aggressively pursue this because the Pennington Station is just the next, is the initial evolution of the ideology that we're building to the next thing. And we will only ever be able to do so much. So what can the community do for us? Help us at be enablers. We are so good at consulting and helping people solve problems. We don't have the bandwidth to write all the code and do all the things, but we know all the people in these realms. So we have strong relationship with some of the best marketing and IT people around. So we call it the full stack ideology, where we have a whole stack of, you bring us a problem, we'll either fix it or we find the people to fix it in the most economical way. And that is how we're going to build and grow these business relationships that otherwise can't exist in this environment. So the better we can support that, so the better you guys support us and bring us those opportunities and bring us those connections, that's what we need. We desperately need those connections. So thank you everybody for letting me talk to you.